Yes, people, welcome back to the Premier League. And as you can see by our thumbnail, a little bit of interesting news coming out from the north. That's for sure. But before we get into all of that, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're only 2 away from 250. It would be absolutely mega if we can achieve that. Hopefully by the end of the night, hopefully by the end of the day. I mean, we got United Liverpool. That should hopefully, that should get some people coming in. Why not? Why not? That will be that should keep us going. Absolutely. But what we're here today is we're here to talk about obviously the news out of Anfield and the news about Manchester United going to get a right back and or a central midfielder. Not sure what they're doing with him, but yeah, it's absolutely bad. If this happens at United, oh my god, the Glazers. You think that you've pissed off the United fans already? Like the fact that Casey Stoney's now left the United's women team, that's now aggravated quite a lot of them. And the fact that you think getting Ainsley Maitland Niles is going to make them at all happy, believe it or not, I don't think that's going to help. Matt saying, can't believe we're losing Andres Pereira, our darkest day. Yeah, something like that. He needs to go. You do need to clear out, that's for sure. The link is in the chat if anyone wants to come on and discuss this. But let's start with Liverpool. Right, let's start with the news coming outside of Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp has said no big money deals this summer. So that's no Sancho, no Mbappe. These Liverpool fans have been chatting about Mbappe and Sancho. Not happening. They're not happening. Jurgen Klopp insists there will be no mega money transfers for Liverpool this summer and doubts whether the likes of Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland and Jadon Sancho will be on the move. As what might be possible transfer-wise, the German, who believes much of the business will be done late in the windows with clubs assessing their finances and Euros 2020 also to take place, said not a lot. It depends on what happens if someone wants to leave. If we sell, we can never really plan early. Not playing Champions League doesn't help, obviously, but it's not our biggest problem. The market will be very strange. I hear about big money moves. Is Kylian Mbappe going? Haaland, Sancho? I don't see that happening a lot this summer because the football world is still not in the same place as it was before. The situation is better than I would have thought a year ago, but the financial situation is a year where everyone suffers. We will see how the market will develop, but for sure, it won't be an early market. It's not good if you don't get the Champions League. But there's still a chance, and whilst there is a chance, we should not speak about it as no chance. Strange words coming from Jurgen. That I find them really bloody strange, right? I do think there will be some big money moves. I mean, that's without a given. These Premier League clubs, they have quite a lot of money. Yes, they would have been hindered financially, but the fact that Plymouth Argyle, we're spending money and buying players, I'm pretty sure some big money moves will be made in the Premier League. And Sancho is coming. Sancho is coming. It's just where is Sancho coming to? Now, there were a lot of reports saying that Sancho is going to go to Liverpool now and not United. I don't think he's going Chelsea. I don't think that suits what Tuchel needs. Tuchel needs a striker. Tuchel needs a central midfielder. Tuchel needs a centre-back. I think right wing is on quite far down on his list of needs. So I don't think he'll go to Chelsea. And with this, he's basically saying, well, Jurgen's basically saying, they ain't coming Liverpool. And Liverpool fans, I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you're thinking. I want to hear your thoughts because my understanding is, well, you're not getting Sancho anymore. That's as much as I'm making of that. You're just not going to get Sancho. And I mean, this talk of Mbappe coming to Liverpool was far-fetched to say the least. Like, very far-fetched. But yeah, no big money moves for Liverpool. No big money moves. And what does this mean for Liverpool? Right? Because they need a rebuild. They do need a rebuild. That's as clear as day. Right? They need fresh faces in their club. Right? Mane has been well off form this year. even Salah's not been great for the second half of the season. But I'm joined by Val, who is a Liverpool fan. You're waking up this morning to hearing news that Jurgen Klopp saying no big money moves. What's your thoughts going on that?
In terms of like big money moves, I don't think we can afford the players for a big money move. Because like we linked with Jadon Sancho, we
Yeah,
can't get him unless we sell our big star players.
yeah,
Our model at Liverpool is like selling players to buy. Like you saw in the last summer, we sold
yeah.
Brewster, Keanu Hoiver, and those other players to get in Thiago and Jota,
Mm,
and we sold Lovren to
yeah.
get Simicast. I feel like you'll spend big if we sell one of our big players.
But what big player is going to get you big money? I can only think at this precise moment, Salah. This Trent and Robbo, but I don't think you want to sell Trent and Robbo because they're but well, Trent's still very young and Robbo's about to come into the prime of his career. So I mean, here I hear this talk of Mane for 80 million. There is not one club in their right mind is going to pay 80 fucking million for Sadio Mane. Not with how he's been recently. He's been absolutely abysmal.
I think Mane was just there at Liverpool. I think that the only person who could possibly leave for money and Champions League will be Salah.
Yeah,
I don't want
and
to sell him, but
that's the issue because Salah is your best player. If you sell Salah, what the do you do then? Because you can't
if
replace Salah. I mean, you could get Sancho in for Salah, but you don't know if Sancho's going to get you the goals or assists that Salah's going to get you.
I feel like in terms of assists, Sancho will get more, but in terms of goal, no one can replace Salah because
Yeah.
he's world class.
Well,
Something
the
like
only one who can replace Salah for goals is fucking Kylian Mbappe or Haaland.
yeah. And here's the thing, I would say club is bigger than the player. So if Salah leaves, I will just let him go because
Hmm.
he is. I just want to. I want to do what's best for him. If he feels like I can win a trophy at another club and earn more money, go for it.
Yeah. No,
It's like what Jurgen,
I hear that.
it's like what Klopp said to Coutinho: stay here, become a Liverpool legend, or leave.
Yeah, and he decided to leave, and actually looking back at it, Coutinho going was your best move. But in terms of salary, I think it's different. I do think it's different because Salah offers you everything you need. It's a weird one with Salah, but you do need him. It's as clear as day. Like not having Salah really hinders Liverpool Football Club. But shouldn't this be where John W. Henry and FSG step in and give Klopp some money? Because the Glazers are going to do that at United. That's clear as day, right? The Glazers are in a really sticky situation with United fans. So they're going to buy players. That just goes without saying. They're going to try and buy that. They're trying to buy United fans off and take away the anger that is towards the Glazers at this precise moment. Shouldn't that be what FSG are doing? Shouldn't FSG just go, here you go, Klopp, here's 100 million from our pocket. We've got 50 that from the club. Here's 100, 150, go out and get some players. Shouldn't that be what John W. Henry and FSG do?
They should have been doing this for a while ago.
Mm,
Like, when we're linked with like players like Nabil Fekir, Timo Werner, we should have got those signings. Nabil Fekir was, I know, like he couldn't because of his knee injury. That's why we pulled out. But like a few months later, he's gone for a cheaper price. Why didn't we get it back then? Because he's
mm,
only picked up like 6 injuries in the last like 4 years or something. So he's not injury prone. He could be a player we needed. Like, we say we need to replace a Coutinho, and you have failed to do that. And then
yeah,
when we got rid of Lovren, you got Simicast, well done, because we needed a back on left back, but we needed a fourth choice centre back. So why didn't you go get a Kabak earlier or another centre back like Koulibaly um, or Mattis Delict or any other centre back that's available? You should have got those signings. And I'm not
mm,
hearing these excuses of, oh, we're broke or something. Like, just paying installments, bro. I don't care. Just get the player. Just get the player. If the player said, "Oh, I want to play for Liverpool," and he wants to work on the young club, give what Klopp needs. Klopp took us from where we are before. We were a shit team before. Look at that first squad: Emre Can, Alberto Moreno, Skirtle, Sacco. Those were our defense, and look what he's done with this team. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And you don't want to back him after what he's done. And I said, like, if this simply actually went on and Liverpool was decided, I was like, Klopp, you should just leave because
Mm.
you're not going to get the backing from FSG and they're not showing you any respect.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? That Klopp has done so much for Liverpool Football Club, but he's just not getting the respect from FSG. What do you think Liverpool are going to do? He says that the business is going to be done late in the transfer window. For me, that suggests that he actually hasn't got a clue what's going to go on. This harms you for next season, doesn't it? That's without a given. It harms you for next season now.
Yeah, because we need players to do the pre-season. Like, if you don't have the pre-season, then what are you going to do? Like Thiago, he came in without no pre-season. Obviously, came in with COVID, and after returning from COVID, getting injured.
Yeah.
So, like, we need these players beforehand to get the settling in with the club, get to know the players around, and then hopefully, by using that, Klopp can pick out which players are good enough and which players in his current squad are not good enough to carry out his system for the next upcoming years.
Yeah.
So the problem is that if we're not getting anything now, then how are we going to succeed in the future?
No, you're dead right about that. But if you don't buy anyone, if you don't actually make any moves this summer, then what happens? What on earth goes on? Like, in terms of how do you fix this? Because what happens next season? Where do you think you'll finish? Because with no big money moves, Liverpool this season have been absolutely utterly shocking. If you don't have a Van Dijk, and Van Dijk he's now unfortunately going to be injury prone.
He's
I'm
not
not
going
going to
to be
sugarcoat it.
so he's staying.
Yeah, no, I know he's staying, but he's now going to be an injury prone player. That's without going. That's without staying.
Yeah,
Right. Van Dijk is not finished, but he's certainly gonna suffer a lot of the consequences of that tackle. So
yeah,
in terms of that, and in terms of what you do now, firstly, without Van Dijk, you're leaving yourselves very short of a leader. Joe Gomez has already proven now that he is fairly injury prone. He will have these sort of issues within him.
yeah.
What on
Because
earth do
honestly,
you
he's a
do?
very good centre back. Joe Gomez is just the injury problem.
There's no doubt in his ability. I've never doubted it. I know RJ has, because RJ's football knowledge is a little bit iffy. I love RJ really, but no. In terms of Joe Gomez, he's a fantastic player. You can see that he's a fantastic player, but
Yeah.
these injuries they hurt him. They do. But it's sort of what you do. It's what you do about this now, because
Actually,
at the
our
end of the
fittest
day,
centre backs in this club are Nat Phillips and Kabak got a minor injury, but he's not recovering today. He's probably going to come back for the next game. So those
yeah,
two are like our most fit centre backs at our club.
yeah.
And the problem is, reports are saying that FSG might not want to sign Kabak on a permanent. If that's the case, then you could fuck off of our club because he's a centre back that has so
What
much
do you
potential.
what do you do about Kabak?
No, because like we need a long term because Van Dijk's not going to be there for long. Obviously,
Mm,
coming back from injury, he's not going to be the same Van Dijk. So we need someone for the
yeah,
future. We need fit centre backs that are going to be here for longevity because Gomez is injury prone. Matip, I got laughed at. I said we need to sell Matip, and everyone was like laughing at me on Twitter about.
Oh, you do.
No, we need to sell
That's
Matip
clear.
because he is injury prone, and
Yeah,
he literally said he wanted to leave last summer because he doesn't. He feels like his body doesn't help him with this Klopp system, so he wants to leave. Let him leave.
yeah.
So then we leave with like Phillips, back is uncertain, Van Dijk, Gomez, and potentially Konate.
Mm.
Nat
Well,
Phillips will leave because he wants to get regular game time. Because when Van Dijk's coming, he's not going to get game time at all.
yeah,
So for him,
and
he'll probably go to a Burnley.
he's he's proven he can do it. I even think of Brighton. Brighton might. He's no nonsense. He'll definitely suit one of. This season has been quite good for Nat Phillips, to be fair, because it's allowed Nat Phillips to put his name on the radar. I mean, some people are talking about him for England. I think that's just disrespectful to every English centre back in the country apart from Eric Dyer.
Well, he's proven that he has the capabilities because he's been excellent for us this season.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's now going to get a big money move out of this because, well, not a big money move, but he's going to get a move. There was talks that he was going to go Swansea sort of in the summer. He's not going to Swansea now. He's most likely going to be staying at in the Premier League, at Brighton or Burnley.
Burnley, I think Burnley will be a good move for him, especially with him and Tarkowski at the back. I feel like those two will work together perfectly, especially low block. I think low blocks will suit Nat Phillips more.
Oh yeah, it suits. Believe it or not, it suits a lot of players going down a peg in terms of what they do. But it's not ideal, and something does need to sort of get fixed for it. What's your prediction for next season then? If you get a couple of squad players, what do you expect? Do you expect top four? Do you expect to be challenging for the league title? What's your aim?
We need to be challenging for the league title. No, that's our aim. We need to be challenging. We want to be the biggest club in England, so we need to be challenging for trophies.
Yeah, but if what I'm saying is, if you don't get any of the players in, so if the players aren't coming in, where do you realistically think you'll be?
Well, it depends. Kanate is coming. Is pretty much a done deal for that. Fabrizio said it's pretty much a done deal, and we have until this month to sign back permanently. 31st of May. That's the final date we need to sign it. And
I've heard it's only about 8 million. Which
pardon?
I've heard it will only be an 8 million. You only have to spend 8 million.
I know. Some reports are saying 15 million, 18 million, 50.
Well, his release, his release clause was 16. I've been hearing you could get him for 8.
If that's the case, then just sign him everything, because that's a bargain for a guy who was very good in the Bundesliga, not like this season, but like if you looked at previous seasons when he was at Stuttgart and Schalke, he was very good. He was wanted by Bayern Munich at that time. So he has so much potential, and if we miss him out, then it's going to cause, I would say, like majority of the fan base will get in the meltdown with FSG because we're missing out on the talent.
But then your fan base will calm down and just start clapping again after a couple of days.
Because they'll probably say, "Oh, Konate is probably doing well in the first 2 games for Liverpool," and then they'll start clapping the FSG. But we should be praising FSG.
Then he'll get injured.
Yeah.
I want to briefly touch on United. I'm sure you're loving this bit of news if this happens. Manchester United looking at Ainsley Maitland-Niles. What the fuck is that? Like, in what universe does Manchester United think that will be a good signing? Now, obviously, there were reports that Maitland-Niles was going to go to United last year as well, and United flat out denied it, and they were like, yeah, that ain't happening. Like, that's just a rumour. The rumours appeared again this season. Do you think United will go in for Maitland-Niles? Because I seriously don't. I can't see that happening.
I feel like for squad depth, they could. I feel like...
Yeah, but is Maitland-Niles any better than Brandon Williams at right back? To be brutally
I feel like he is slightly better. I feel like defensively he is more better. Yeah. But he's the thing with Maitland-Niles. He doesn't...
What's the point of wasting 20, 30, 25 million for someone slightly better than Brandon Williams or even Dallo?
But here's the thing with Maitland-Niles. He said he doesn't want to be a right back. He wants to be a midfielder, but I actually watch a lot of Arsenal games. He's better right back than in midfield.
Yeah, we all say that, don't we? And if he's coming in as a midfielder for United, he seriously isn't getting in over. He's not better than McTominay or Fred in central midfield. No way.
It's because we haven't seen enough of him. That's why. If we saw a lot of him and he was actually doing his proper job in midfield, then probably, but he's not. He hasn't showed it. His
Yeah,
best position is right back. Get used to
but
it. Like you look how
for a
other
top
players
six,
played in like out
mm,
position and they've been told to play in other positions and now they've become the best of it. Like I'm gonna
mm,
bring up example. Maldini was a left back and then he
yeah,
played as a centre back and he's one of the best centre backs of all time.
yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I don't think it's suitable for United to go get Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I think it's a bad move. Yeah, he's got a bit of versatility. He could probably play Brandon Williams in central midfield. He'd probably do a good job there, ish, maybe. I don't know. It's a weird one. I don't see that happening. I put it in the group chat that I'm in, and it was in with their Llorente. United apparently looking at £68 million for Llorente, which again, for me, doesn't solve your issues. Just go. I
Which one,
the
Marco
thing for
Llorente from
United,
Atletico
yeah,
Madrid?
Atletico, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a
The
very
thing
good
for
player.
he's very good, but he's not what United need. They need a DM. He's not a DM. He's not a DM. He's box to box again. Like that's from what I can understand.
He could do the job, but I don't think he'll be enough.
Exactly, and for a top side, if you want to challenge for titles, you don't need someone who can do a job. You need someone best of the best in that role. Now, the fact that I've identified 3 players for United in terms of Varane, Sancho, and Rice, and that is widely sort of said by anyone with a football brain. United need to just go get them 3, surely. That surely
How
works
do
for you.
United not going for Declan Rice anymore because they can't afford him because they want Sancho and Rice, but they can't afford both, so they need to get one. And I feel like they want to go
Use
Sancho. They said they want to go
use
Sancho.
Lindelof. Use Lingard as a paper mate. Sort of use him as here's knockoff 20-25 million for Rice. Here's Lingard. You could even potentially say also here's Mata, or here is
I don't think
James
United.
Garner on loan. Like that would for me make a lot of sense, because with James Garner on loan, you could you don't have to pay anything, just knock off 10 million off the transfer for Declan Rice. Here's Lingard, that's 25 million off, that's 35 million off it straight away. You're probably looking at paying about 80 million, no, 50 million, right? Say you're paying about 85 for Rice, and that's about 80 million. You're paying 50. Sancho, you're not paying more than 80 million. That's widely reported. They'll be around 80 million. So that is what, 120 million on them 2 players. And if you could probably get Varane for you could get centre back for 30, 40, 50 million. That's only what, 160 million. If you can you can even off cut that with the likes of Andres Pereira, Diego Dalot, get Juan Mata off the wage structure, try and offload Phil Jones to the Championship. There's so many ways United could finance these deals. They just need to be smart. The
But
issue
would the
is
Glazers do it?
well, that's the thing. It's about being smart, but that's what John Myrtle and Darren Fletcher were brought in to do. They were brought in to be the football people in football roles. They were there to be a little bit smart, a little bit cunning. The fact, if I can think of these, and I make content on YouTube, then surely you'd expect a professional person within Manchester United to be able to go, let's offload Diego Dalot, let's offload Phil Jones, let's get Juan Mata off the wage structure, let's even try and offload David De Gea. Maybe that could be one. Let's offload Jesse Lingard. Let's get some of these players off the wage structure. Let's actually work at financing these deals in a more smart way. And also, it's not even 80 million or 50 million up front. Most clubs nowadays spread it over the period of a contract. So it's not like you're even paying it all up front. If you sign
Yeah,
Declan Rice
installment.
to a 5-year deal, you're paying 10 million. You maybe pay what, 20, 30 million up front, the rest in installments.
It
The
depends
same as
on
Sancho. You could pay 50 million. the rest in instalments for 40 million. Now, that's
I think
how these clubs structure the deals now.
it depends what club it is. Like, I'll give like Leon as an example. When like I think the Arsenal wants to pay installments for Hossein Aouar, they're like, no, we want the 40 million up front, please, and they
Hmm.
weren't going to play it. Some clubs will
Yeah,
demand for
yeah, but 40 million, I do probably. I wouldn't really expect 40 million to do. I wouldn't expect sort of installment payments for that. But for these big deals, you pay in installments. It's guaranteed installments as well.
yeah, we
A
pay
lot of these
Thiago
clubs do it now.
installments. Yeah,
Exactly. Like that's how a lot of these big clubs organize these transfers now. So I'm not going to believe in, oh, we can't afford it. They can afford it. They just got to be smart. And the one thing that Ed Woodward has been criticised a lot, and obviously the other people who's been doing these transfers for so many years, is they simply haven't been smart enough. They weren't smart enough with Alexis Sanchez. They weren't smart enough with Di Maria. They weren't smart with Falcao. They've been really bloody naive. You look at Sancho last season. I mean, it could turn out to be one of the best things they've ever done because you're looking at getting Sancho probably about £30 million cheaper. But that was a
yeah.
risk because there was no guarantee that Sancho would fall off form. There was no guarantee that Dortmund would look like they weren't going to get Champions League.
I mean,
It
even
was
in
a
the beginning
big
of the
risk.
season, Sancho wasn't that great. He didn't start great. Now he's doing really well, but in the beginning,
Exactly.
he wasn't even starting that good.
Yeah, but that was the risk that United took. They bargained. I think they bargained. Oh, we don't think Sancho's going to do as well this season, so we're going to wait out and see what goes on. That's a big risk to be doing with a player of that caliber, especially if you look at some of the teams that are in and around United, looking at players like Sancho. You're looking at Chelsea. Look at City. He won't go to City for obvious reasons. I mean, they let him go as a kid. But you look at all these big teams, and it's like, why are they? Why are United playing devil? They're playing devil's advocate. They're trying to be quite smart about this, but it's actually turned out to be extremely naive.
Yeah, because in the past few years, they haven't spent right. Like Johnny Van de Beek wasn't an Ole signing. I don't think Ole never wanted him. So was Ahmad Diallo. Like, I think those were like panic signs for not getting Jadon
Oh,
Sancho.
Diallo was an Ollie signing.
Oh,
Diallo
was
was an
he?
Ollie signing. Yeah.
I
He
like
was.
Cavani.
Cavani was. Believe it or not, I actually think Cavani might have been an Ollie signing as well. I mean, in terms of when they did it and how they did it, yeah, I don't think Ollie would have wanted that. But in
Yeah,
terms of what they did, Donny, I don't think is an Ollie signing. That one does seem a bit strange. I think that was more panic of we might be losing Pogba. Let's go get Donny in. But Diallo was an Ollie signing. Ahmad is an Ollie signing. That's one for the future, though, right? That's not so. United fans are like, oh, put him in now. Now, I do agree with putting him in some games. Like I think of some of the games coming up. Not obviously Liverpool, but I think they've got. I think it's who have they got? They've got Wolves last game of the season.
probably
Who have
playing
they
that
got?
game because I feel like by that time, second place is secured. They're not getting first.
Who that's the. Let me have a look at their fixtures. I mean, I know they got Fulham. That's the one. Fulham at Old Trafford. So for me, I look at that and I'm like, yeah, you could probably play Ahmad in them couple of games. There's no issue with that for me. But yeah, Diallo is one for the future. I think that is an Ollie signing, but it's one for the future. It's not one that's gonna break into the first team now. You need to see what he can do.
Mm.
Basically, United, they're a strange bunch. They are a strange bunch, and we'll have to wait and see. Mystic Wolf saying Glazers out tonight. Yes, another protest at Old Trafford, but I think they've upped security. I forgot Donny was at Manchester United. Look, Donny's a great player. I feel for Donny because he is a good player. There's no doubt about that. He's a great player. He's a great player, but he just needs to break in. But the games I've also seen of him recently, and this is going to be down to Matt Sharpness. He's looked absolutely horrific. He's not looked great. If I'm being real, it's one of them that it would be great if it happened, but I don't know. I don't know. But guys, we're going to wrap it up there. It's in going to be as long as Max Allen's, because Max Allen's was a very much more exciting bit of news to be talking about. He's such a talent.
Ainsley Maitland Niles is boring. We don't like him. He's from us.
Well, it's not that he's boring. It's just I think that's a very bad idea for United. I just simply don't think it will happen.
Like a, how do you call it? A lazy signing.
Yeah. No, I 100% get what you mean. But we've got some shows tonight. We've got obviously Ref's View at 6 p.m. with me and Dom. That should be a good one. Plenty of stuff for me and him to get our teeth into. And then Manchester United versus Liverpool match reaction at 10:15. I've definitely got a couple of Liverpool lot. I've got even a couple of United, so it should be a very interesting one. Genie is already hiding, so I think he knows what's about to come his way.
I'm literally going to be praying for Reece Williams. I'm just literally going to have a picture of Reece Williams on my wall and just keep praying. Just please don't let Mason Greenwood go through.
Oh yeah, because if Mason Greenwood does him Reece Williams, I'm a be unbearable, and Belshwan's going to be sat here like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like, don't make me do this.
You're lucky you're not doing the watch along, because if I was on the watch along, I'll be fuming in the whole game, like looking at Reece Williams.
I look there. I do sometimes do watch alongs, mainly for now it's for mainly England. I'm looking forward to England watch alongs in the summer. That is really going to help. But before we go, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on. As I said, Ref's View 6 p.m. United versus Liverpool match reaction at 10:15. Should be a good set of shows. Then tomorrow, obviously, you got all the normal shows. Chelsea show at 6, Liverpool show at 8, and the United show at 10 p.m. So plenty to get our juices into on them days. But you can find us on Twitter at Let's Talk EPL, and on our other one is No Context LTPL. Instagram at Let's Talk EPL_, TikTok at Let's Talk Premier League. Another video went up today, so do make sure you check out that one. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Niall_PAFC. And if there's any United fans that do want to come on and talk about their club at any point, whether that be match reactions or whether that be on the United show, send me a DM, because we are looking for more United fans. It would be mega to get some United fans on. So DM me at Niall_PAFC, or check out at Let's Talk EPL. Just send me a DM. We're always looking for more United fans as well. Wolf saying international football sucks for me. I am Canadian. Yes, I can see why international football would suck for you. For us, England, it's actually not too bad. I quite enjoy it. But Velv, where can they find you?
You can find me at Twitter and Instagram at VL_skills.
100%. Make sure you go check out Velv as well. And as said, we'll be back for the match reaction and Ref's View 6 p.m. and 10:15 for them shows. But check us out on Twitter so you know when we're next live, and make sure that you are subscribed with notifications on. Notifications on is important because, well, it does work. You wanna know when we're going live, and that really does help. Notifications does help with that. It's helped me with plenty of channels that I sometimes watch. But until 6 p.m, thanks for watching. I've got a Ref's View to prep for, so that should be good. But until then, thank you for watching.